Good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. I'm Pokemon Training Neats and you're watching episode 2 of Theme Deck Thursday. We've got our music on in the background and we're ready to roll. Last week we played with HS Basic Green. Today we're going to look at HS Basic Red, which of course is using cards from the Heart Gold Soul Silver era of cards. Let's take a quick look at the deck before we head into a game. So as with all theme decks, this deck is very Pokemon heavy, with a total of 31 Pokemon. We've got just 12 trainers, and then we've got 17 fire energy. So, if we have a quick look at the Pokemon, we start off with 3 Eevee, 2 Flareon, 2 Growlithe, 1 Arcanine, 3 Vulpix, 1 Ninetales, 3 Magmar, 1 Magmortar, 3 Rattata, 2 Raticate, 4 Cyndaquil, 3 Quilava, and 3 Typhlosion. The attackers that we're mainly going to be trying to set up to get the maximum damage is our Typhlosion, Arcanine, and Flareon. These are the attackers that will potentially do the most damage. So, moving on to our trainers, we have 2 Potion, 1 Full Heal, 1 Burn Tower for our Stadium card. Now what this does is it allows you to flip a coin and you can get energy back from the discard if you flip heads. 2 Fishermen to help us get our energy back from the discard. 2 Professor Elm's Training Method to search out those all-important evolution cards. 2 Copycat is going to help us get out, or rather it's going to help us shuffle our hand in and match our opponent's hand size. And then 2 Bills. So we haven't got many trainer cards, but they are pretty decent ones. And then finally for the deck, we have our 17 fire energy. So, this is HS Basic Red. Let's now head over to Versus mode so that we can get a game with the deck. Now, because theme deck battles are so unpredictable, on the whole, I generally won't be editing between battles because theme decks, anything can happen, so we're just going to roll with it, kind of like we did last week. We were fortunate last week to get a pretty decent game with our HS Basic Green, even though we lost. So let's head into a battle now and see what we can get with our HS Basic Red deck. So, our opponent is Multiplayer Noob, who's playing one of the new Sun and Moon decks. So we lost the coin flip. So we'll be going... Oh, we are going first, actually. Okay, that's not a bad starting hand at all. We've got Flareon, we've got Eevee, we've got Magmar. So, I think maybe we start with... Maybe we will start with the Eevee, actually, so we can get the evolution into play. So, we'll start with an Eevee. I forgot, I didn't see we had Rattata there as well. That might have been a decent starter as well. So, we'll bench Eevee, bench Rattata, and we'll also bench Magmar. Plenty of options to work with here, so this is a nice starting hand. Okay, so we're simply just going to attach the energy here and pass the turn. My opponent's opened Torkoal. So we can be burned by the first attack. And the second attack does 50 with a chance of paralysis. Great start from my opponent. They play a Lily there to get up to 8 cards in hand. And we see my opponent benching some more Pokemon. We saw a Makuhita come down and a Roggenrola to join the Litten that was already on the bench. So we are going to get burned here. Okay, so we're just getting the message because obviously the burn has changed. Well, we're going to evolve anyway, so we won't be burned anymore. So we'll attach a second energy, and we'll use Flame Tail for 30 damage. So let's hope we can continue to draw into our energy. So we see a second energy from my opponent. So actually, if we draw into our next... Well, I was about to say, if we draw into our next energy, we can get the knockout. We can't now that my opponent's used potion. So we see a Torracat on my opponent's bench. And they're playing Ultra Ball. This may be... for Boldor. So I think we'll probably see the evolution there as well. Yep. So, I imagine we're going to be attacked by the Torkoal now with Body Slam. Indeed we are. And that would be heads, wouldn't it? Perhaps I ought to have attached that energy elsewhere. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll throw energy onto Magmar. And we'll just have to pass the turn. Unfortunately, Flareon is going to get knocked out here. I always found these Heart Gold Soul Silver themed decks were not quite as powerful as some of the later built-in decks, like the black and white ones. We could really do with the Cyndaquil or something here. Ah, there is a Cyndaquil. And then we'll need some energy to go with it. So, Live Coal for 10 damage. So my opponent draws for turn. Another fighting energy to the Boldor, so that Boldor's getting ready for action. And we see another Body Slam. Is my opponent going to flip? Tails this time, so we'll still be able to attack. And there's another Cyndaquil. So we're certainly going to be able to set our Quillavas up now, we just need some energy to go with them. Be a master. Interesting fact, when this song was first released, back in the day, it was actually top of the charts. To Be a Master, such a great song. Pokemon CDs are usually my go-to CDs whenever I'm in the car. Sing along at the top of my voice, of course. So, we see the knockout on the Magmar, and we're now in kind of a position where... Not really sure what we can do. My opponent only has 4 prizes left to take. Well, we'll throw up the Rattata, I think. But if we draw an energy here, which I'm hoping we do, then... Yep, there's the energy, but that's going to go straight onto Quilava. Thing is, there's only so many Pokemon you can sacrifice. Sometimes in theme decks that has to be a strategy. You have to sacrifice other Pokemon so that you can power up your big ones. There's a Nest Ball from my opponent. Search for a basic Pokemon. By the way this one's going, we're certainly not going to be the master of this battle, that's for sure. But hey, theme decks are fun, so it doesn't really matter whether you win or lose with theme decks. My aim with these videos is just to show you the different decks you can get on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. And show you some very basic gameplay. So that's a knockout on the Rattata. Okay, we'll promote this Eevee, and then we're going to have to start attacking after that. The supporter card would be quite good right now. As a Vulpix, that's not really very helpful. My opponent is definitely in control here, with his second energy onto that Oranguru as well.
Now you've reached the plateau, but not yet a hero. Are you ready to meet and defeat the...
Okay. So, I'm going to promote the Quilava in the hope that we get an energy. We do get the energy, which is quite good. I'd love to get Copycat or something right now. But I don't think we've seen a single trainer card all game. No, we haven't. Like I said, that is the downside of theme decks, so, you know, with so few trainer cards. I mean, when you consider most competitive decks run 30 trainers upwards, so to run just 12, you're always going to be running the risk of not getting the trainer cards you need when you need them. So we see a third energy on the Oranguru, and I think the writing is on the wall at this point. Tails from my opponent now. I'd love to draw into Typhlosion here. We didn't, but we did get another fire energy, so we will actually be able to take a knockout here. We will be forced to discard the energy, but we do get the knockout, so we do get a prize card. And I guess you could say with these theme deck battles, as long as we get a prize card, then that's job done. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I'm hoping there'll be in some of the theme decks we come to, we'll be able to get some victories in future episodes. These new Sun and Moon decks are quite strong. So that's going to be a knockout with 100 damage. Ah, that's a classic psychic attack with 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. In fact, some psychic attacks in the past have been just plus 10, so for that to have plus 20, that's pretty good. We'll put up Quilava. At the moment, that's not getting knocked out, so although if we attach an energy, we would get knocked out. Well, we'll attach the energy, and I think that's pretty much going to be game over. So we see a... that looks like a Sandygast from my opponent, it is. So we see a Psychic from my opponent, and that gives my opponent the win. So... we lost this game, but with theme decks, that's how it goes. Like I said, some you win, some you lose, some are over really quickly, some are not over so quickly. Some games you're going to draw dead, sometimes you're going to draw fantastic, you just don't know. That is the unpredictability of theme decks. But hey, that's how it goes. So, hopefully we can get the win next week. That would be the ultimate aim. So, that is going to be it for this week. Next week, I'll be using HS Basic Blue, which has some pretty cool Pokemon in, so be sure to look out for that. And yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of today's episode. So, if you want to get in touch, you can get in touch via email, PokemonTrainerNeats@hotmail.com. I'm also on Twitter, @PokemonTrainerNeats. Feel free to tweet me and say hi. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button for me. Likewise, if this is your first time to the channel, please do subscribe. I upload regular weekly videos, and then some videos I just upload anytime. So I have my regular series, and then there's other videos that I upload every now and then as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.